I'm John Ossoff, and I approve this message.
You want local news that impacts you?
We've got you covered.
We're on your side.
On your side, this is News 12 First at 5.
A high school freshman accidentally shot and killed another teenager accused in his death. Now family and friends are remembering his life.
I'm going to miss my precious baby. I'm going to miss everything about him. He was just like my own son. He was with me from 2 weeks old up until now.
But first up this evening, the sheriff responding after a Richmond County deputy was booked into jail on charges he assaulted a fellow police officer. Our I-Team's Meredith Anderson first broke this story of Brandon Keithley's grand jury indictment just after it was filed yesterday afternoon.
And tonight, Sheriff Richard Roundtree is not mincing words, saying he was extremely disappointed to learn of Deputy Keithley's criminal indictment via the local news media. Now, just within the last half hour, District Attorney Natalie Payne fired back. All of this coming after Deputy Brandon Keithley was booked into the Richmond County Jail this morning on charges of aggravated assault and aggravated assault on a peace officer. He is accused of hitting Nicholas Nunes in the back of the head with his flashlight while the deputy was performing CPR on a 17-year-old who was shot. Today, Sheriff Roundtree accused Natalie Payne of an unorthodox approach, calling the way this was handled inexcusable. Quoting here, "In my nearly 30 years as a law enforcement professional, I have seen justice take on many forms. That is why I am disheartened that some people can only see justice in one dimension, and that appears to be criminal justice. I disagree." Natalie Payne responding, "It should be noted that two separate Richmond County grand juries were presented with the facts of this case. The first recommended an indictment, the second returned one. This so-called unorthodox approach was required by the legislator in 2016 when Georgia law was changed regarding grand jury inquiries into law enforcement conduct while on duty." Keithley is out on a signature bond tonight. He is on paid administrative leave, the sheriff says, as he defends this indictment. Now, these are some serious charges he's facing. The I-Team is looking into how much prison time Keithley could face if convicted. That's coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock.
Looking forward to that, Meredith. Thank you very much. The shooting death of 15-year-old Batavia Tutt is one of two recent shootings involving students from Washington Wilkes High School. Tutt died Saturday after being at AU Medical Center for 3 days. Sunday, another student, 18-year-old senior Malik Wheeler, was shot in the leg inside a home on Hendry Lane.
He was taken to AU Medical Center. A 16-year-old is now facing multiple charges, including involuntary manslaughter for Tutt's death. Wrdw spoke to his friends and his loved ones about the loss.
It was a dangerous and deadly weekend here in Washington, Georgia. Two shootings the same weekend, both involving teenagers. It was here on the 100 block of Riverside Drive where Matavian Tutt lost his life. The candlelight vigil right off the road of School Street next to Matavian Tutt's home shines bright after he was shot and killed over the weekend at a house on Riverside Drive. The Wilkes County Sheriff's Office says Tutt and a 16-year-old were handling a firearm when it accidentally discharged, hitting Tutt. The 15-year-old was taken to AU where he later died from his injuries. And no more than 10 minutes down the road, another teenager was involved in a shooting on Hendry Lane. Around 11:30 on Sunday night, someone fired multiple rounds into 18-year-old Malik Wheeler's home. He was hit in the leg and is being treated at AU Medical Center. Now the community is calling for change after the deadly weekend. Batavian's family remember him as someone who was respectful, loving, and always had a smile on his face.
He had grown into a lot of people's hearts. And when I hear people talk about him, they talk about how respectful he was and the beautiful smile he carried. He was a very respectful young man.
Coming up on News 12 at 6 o'clock, we hear more from his family and friends and why they are calling for change. Reporting in Washington, Georgia, Wrdw, on your side.
Investigators have found evidence in the non-fatal shooting, but they say they don't have any solid leads right now on suspects, and both investigations are ongoing.
Also in Wilkes County, a child brought a gun to Washington Wilkes Primary School. Investigators say no one was hurt and the kid did not bring it on purpose. Deputies say the child went on a hunting trip with family members. They say the student discovered a handgun from the trip, was left in the bag by accident, and told the teacher without touching the weapon. The school is taking disciplinary action. Two men wanted for murder in Orangeburg County, captured down in Florida. Officials say 21-year-old Davian Jones and 18-year-old Leon Key from Blackville are behind bars this afternoon. Each are charged with one count of murder in the shooting death of an 18-year-old from Barnwell on November 4th. We're told they were arrested in Jacksonville. They have been brought back to South Carolina to face those charges.
To weather now as we take a live look at Wheeler Road in Raleigh. This first week of December is off to a very cold start.
Definitely so, Richard. It is feeling like December, for us. And we are seeing that cold weather continue into this evening and tonight. Another beautiful sunset ongoing, and we have double nickels on the thermometer. 55 here in Augusta. Winds are calm, skies are clear, so temperatures are going to be dropping very quickly as soon as that sun does go down. A few spots already down to the 40s, 47 in Edgefield, 49 in Saluda. Aiken, you're a little bit warmer, currently at 53. Through this evening, we're expecting temps to already be down close to 40 degrees by the 7 o'clock hour, and then down to the mid-30s by 8 o'clock. Overnight tonight into early tomorrow, we are expecting those frigid temps back down below 28 degrees for us, so what we classify as a hard freeze. Later into the week, though, we are expecting warmer temps. You can see no frost or freeze for your Friday and Saturday, but rain does look likely those days. We'll see how much we're expecting in just a little bit.
To the elections now, 132. With the COVID-19 vaccine approved in the UK, vaccinations are just around the corner. Health officials say the new coronavirus vaccines will be safe and effective. They could come with some side effects, though. They say it's important for Americans to take the vaccine and protect the health of the community. The chief medical officer at Phoebe Putney in Albany says the vaccine will have some mild side effects, namely malaise, which just means not feeling very good in general.
And you've heard people say, oh, I got that vaccine and I got sick. Well, sick is all relative. I can assure you that this malaise that I'm reading about being reported to is nothing compared to having COVID-19.
And we will have much more on the Pfizer vaccine authorization coming up a little later here, first at 5.
The system designed to keep a roof over renters' heads during the pandemic is leaving some landlords without one. Natisha Lance spoke to a landlord who is not able to return to her own home.
I don't have any rights to my home.
When the pandemic forced Joyce Barker to return to America from teaching in Abu Dhabi, she didn't expect to fight to get her Lithonia home back. For months, she's been living out of a suitcase, relying on the kindness of friends and now her daughter for a place to stay.
Now I'm being shoved from pillow to post, from one person's home to the next person's home, trying to figure out my fate.
The Fulton County teacher says her tenant refuses to leave, citing COVID as the reason.
Which in my opinion is a way for them to take advantage of the system.
Barker says her tenant was on a fixed income, but stopped paying after she informed them 60 days before the lease expired she'd be taking the property back.
The tenants have pretty much so stated that due to COVID, they were not going to be moving or paying their rent.
In September, the CDC extended the moratorium on evictions through December 31st, giving landlords little recourse.
The landlord has no mechanism to challenge the CDC order. There's nothing in the order that basically says if we believe it to be false, that we can challenge that.
The order encourages tenants to still pay what they can, but if that doesn't happen, landlords are left with the bill.
I think there needs to be some type of guidelines or policing around these different mortuariums they're putting in place, because they should look at case by case.
Oh, you just feel for that landlord. And the reporter did reach out to Ms. Barker's tenant, didn't hear back. Barker has a status hearing scheduled next month.
Meanwhile, the Georgia Department of Transportation is taking steps to stop homeless people from setting up camp underneath bridges. So they put out these large rocks in place to stop them. They say urban camping under an overpass is illegal, and the potential for fires is one reason why. But not everyone agrees with this move.
Maybe between Thanksgiving and December 1st, we could be doing something different to help those who are unsheltered right in the shadow of the state capitol.
Well, GDOT says it's working with the city of Atlanta to offer other housing options to the homeless. A Georgia program helping you pay gas and electricity bills this winter, and don't wait to apply. This program is first come, first served. Payments are sent directly to your billing agency. There are income restrictions, and you'll need proof of that. You have to verify your bill and your citizenship status as well, so be ready to do that. Riley.
Richard, we got another night down into the 20s, but we're getting warmer later this week as rain heads our way. Take a look at that forecast coming up.
We know the pandemic has changed so many aspects of everyday life.
And many people are leaning on an old tradition for a sense of normalcy. Nancy Chen reports.
Dad, look at this one.
The Myers family looked long and hard
How about that one?
to find the perfect Christmas tree.
You guys good with this?
It's a scene playing out at tree sellers nationwide. Seems the pandemic has people getting into the holiday spirit.
How about this one right here?
People are also cooped up in their houses. They're looking for something they can do.
And that's leading to a boost in business.
We knew people were going to come out. We knew we were going to be busy, but we didn't know it was going to be this much of an increase.
In one survey, 21% of people said they were more likely to get a real tree this year after having an artificial tree last year or no tree at all.
And why is that?
Well, no doubt because of the stress of the pandemic.
Doug Hunley with the National Christmas Tree Association says the desire to decorate follows a trend seen all year.
The nation's garden centers just had their best year in decades. People gardening, landscaping, and we hope and think that it can lead right into a big decorating year with real trees, garlands, wreaths.
There's been scattered tree shortages in recent years because of the economy, fires, and drought. Sellers have some concern about supplies, but right now most are well stocked, giving the Myers family plenty of options.
This year's Christmas tree, this year's been a rough year, and you're going to bring us through Christmas.
Appreciation for a Christmas to remember during a year many would like to forget. Nancy Chen,
This tree is heavy.
CBS News, New York.
Oh, yes. Already have ours picked out and inside, and it is really starting to feel a lot like Christmas out there, Riley.
Definitely so. We definitely have a December feel in the air out there. Beautiful look at downtown Augusta and a nice look over Aiken County here from our WeatherStem camera network. As you can see from the sky, that sun is going down, and we're just about 5 minutes away from sunset. So it will be getting dark quickly and cold quickly as well. By the time we get to around 7, 8 o'clock, we're already seeing temps between 40 and 36 degrees. Overnight tonight, we are expecting another night down into the 20s for us. So get ready, folks. It is going to be another very frigid start early tomorrow morning. Out at Bushfield this morning, we actually got down to 26, so we're expecting to be very close to that number again tomorrow. But we are expecting a warming trend. By tomorrow afternoon, we're expecting some spots to finally hit 60 degrees again, which we have not hit the 60s here in about 48 hours. So kind of a strange weather setup considering how warm we've been pretty much all year long. Rain chances, they're looking best late Friday into early Saturday. So that's why we did include a little bit of a rain chance Saturday. That's mainly before lunchtime. Saturday afternoon does look completely dry with a lot of sun, just going to be pretty breezy throughout the day Saturday. Now, with the rain heading our way, this is thanks to an area of low pressure. We have high pressure over us currently. As low pressure begins to head our way, our barometric pressure is going to be dropping. And when that happens, it can actually create some joint pain for people that maybe suffer from arthritis or anything like that. So just a heads up, Friday into Saturday as that rain does move in, you may notice a little bit of some aches and pains. Here's the latest timing. What we're looking at, this is the GFS model, so this is the American model. It keeps the speed of the system a little bit slower than the European, but it's been actually performing a little bit better than the European this year. So I'm on board with the GFS. It keeps most of this rain mainly for Friday night, and then it could linger into around daybreak Saturday. But by the time we get to lunchtime Saturday, especially Saturday afternoon, that rain is clearing out. Now, behind the system, though, it is expected to be pretty breezy out there. We actually could see some wind gusts between 30, 35 miles an hour. As far as how much rain we could see, it doesn't look like we should see too much. There could be a few spots that get close to an inch. That would mainly favor our northern and western counties. So basically a line from Sandersville to Saluda. If you are north or west of that line, you have the better chance to see possibly an inch. For the rest of us, looks like we should see less than that. Saturday, once again, we could see a few showers early on, but generally clearing throughout the day. Just going to be a little bit windy behind that system. We could see a lake wind advisory Saturday. It's still kind of TBD on that, but Saturday should be much calmer, or Sunday should be much calmer for us. Heading into next week, those temps still trending just a little bit below normal.
Well, Halloween is long gone, the fall season coming to a close, but what happens to all those pumpkins after we're done with them? We'll show you a creative idea in just a minute.
For Georgia, I'm Kelly Loeffler. I approve this message.
some of us still eating those Thanksgiving leftovers, but what about leftover pumpkins from the fall season?
Think way back. It all started with a request for people's pumpkins on Facebook, and Meredith Yeoman shows us what it's grown into and why.
With Christmas decorations popping up on every corner, this pumpkin patch
This is my hoard of gourds.
growing in Sherry Salas's front yard stands out.
It's actually pretty interesting. My family and I have an ongoing joke. They're like gremlins. Because we'll take them away and then we come back from dinner and they're like multiplied.
Her bumper crop of pumpkins are all donated by people who use them as decorations.
That's what'll happen. I move one and they domino.
Destined for dumpsters, the pumpkins now serve new purpose.
They're going to throw these away anyway. They have nowhere to put them or use them for.
Why they are all here began with an idea Salas planted on social media to collect pumpkins for a friend's organization.
They love pumpkin.
A nonprofit catering to pigs.
They love to eat it.
Melanie Moreau runs My Pig-Filled Life in Wills Point, a rescue for mini pigs abandoned by their owners.
Guinea pigs is really a classification of any pig under 300 pounds. And the majority of them are somewhere around 100, 125 pounds. And people don't know what they're getting into. They have the intelligence of a 4-year-old child. Oh, we got some latecomers to the party.
Her farm has grown from 1 to nearly 300 pigs, all once neglected or abused, now living the gourd life. Moreau says the pumpkins serve as a healthy snack, and the calories help keep the pigs warm through winter. Back in Frisco, with 3 truckfuls already delivered,
And I'm collecting till Wednesday.
pumpkins keep coming
Pray for me.
in a grassroots effort putting old produce to good use.
Oh man, I hope those pumpkins last because they're expecting them to feed the pigs until March, but how do they, I mean, don't they get flies and stuff by then?
I think if the weather warms up, she's in trouble, but
Yeah.
it looks like an interesting front yard. And by the way, Laura, all these pigs in that story are up for adoption. I know
There
you're
you
looking
go. Yeah.
for a Christmas pig.
I have a 3-year-old. I don't need pigs with the intelligence of a 4-year-old to add to the chaos. But moving along in the holiday season, the Burke County Sheriff's Office asking for your help bringing some Christmas cheer. You can donate toys or Walmart gift cards for kids in Burke County. They're collecting donations at the Sheriff's Office and the Judicial Center Monday through Friday, 8:30 to 5. Also at Fish Eye Grill, you can drop that off 11 to 9 Thursday through Saturday, 11 to 3 Sunday. You can also drop monetary donations at the Sheriff's Office P.O. Box.
Shifting over to Atlanta now, Governor Brian Kemp and his family joining radio show host Clark Howard for a virtual Christmas tree lighting so everyone could watch safely from home. Beautiful thing there. The tree is at the Georgia State Capitol right now. And here's a look. It happened around 1 o'clock this afternoon. Pretty festive there.
It is. It's gorgeous. And this is the cutest thing you will see today. 3-year-old Avery, super ready for the holidays. Her mother says the Grinch is her favorite Christmas character, so they decided to have this photo shoot with him at the Pink Dipper in North Augusta.
She thought Avery might be scared or hesitant, but that was not the case at all. She had a great time, even came up with all her own poses for this shoot. And then afterwards she says, get this, she said, the Grinch doesn't hate Christmas anymore.
Oh, his heart grew 3 sizes. So cute.
Classic Cindy Lou right there.
Good stuff there. What a cutie. Car wash forecast the next couple of days. Looking good Thursday, Friday. We are expecting some showers, mainly later into the day Friday. Now look at that 7-day for you coming up.
We save America. I'm David Perdue, and I approve this message.
From our family to yours, Merry Christmas and Happy New Year.
We are expecting a lot of sunshine to continue again Thursday. Just bundle up. Early on, we are expecting those low temperatures back down into the 20s for us. That'll be the coldest start for the rest of the week. We are expecting those temperatures to gradually warm up as we head into the weekend. Friday, especially Friday night, is when we're expecting the majority of this rain to fall. Should be mostly dry, though, for the weekend.
A big green light on the COVID vaccine front. We'll explain when News 12 continues here first at 5 in 3 minutes.
If you have COVID-19, what